Thank you for telling me it was muted, because I do that an awful lot. Can you hear me now? Oh, you should be able to hear me now. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now you can. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's too early for this. I am a night person. I'm not a morning person. But here we go. Oh, good morning, everyone. Chat is flying high. It's so good to see you all. Please forgive me for not going through all the names, because chat is scrolling up my screen pretty quick. So I can catch a few names. Rosie, Larissa, D. Osser, Hot Scorpio, good morning to you. Drowsy Doll, thank you for the Diet Coke. I need one. My husband is currently out looking for a pumpkin spice latte, because I told him I need one. If I have to do live streams at, the crack of dawn, which for me, this is the crack of dawn. I know. This is my life. So I need a pumpkin spice latte. That's only fair, isn't it? I think so. And thank you for the super chat earlier that is sponsoring this pumpkin spice latte. I have no idea how much I needed that. So thank you very much. Hello, good morning from in Scotland, Miss Wee Lassie. Well, actually, it's not morning over there, but it's morning here. It's nice to see you. My hubby is a good guy. He really is. All right. So today we do have Lori's hearing. However, I got the time wrong. It does not start at 9 Mountain. It starts at 10 Mountain time. So we have some time to sit and chat. I was just going to wait and delay the live stream, but I'm too excited. I don't know about you guys, but I got to talk about this. I'm just very excited. Janine, I am a night owl. I prefer to stay up till about 2 or 3 in the morning and sleep till about 10 or 11. That's my natural sort of rhythm, but it doesn't work so well when you're trying to work and do stuff. Oh. See, I wasn't even going to come on camera this morning, because I figured pop on, we'll chat for a few minutes, have a 10, 15-minute hearing and be done. But I was like, if I'm going to be on for an hour, I should probably be on camera. So I had to do a quick face, quick hair, have some hairspray in, which makes my hair look gross. So I'm unhappy with early morning quickie live streams. And as you can see, look what I am wearing. It is 56 degrees outside, I think, here in Texas. These are our December temperatures. We normally don't get to the 50s until about December. So I am freezing. I have my fuzzy socks on. I have a blanket, my long jammy pants. I am freezing. So here we go. Sam, thank you for the super chat with the alarm clock. Thank you. Thank you for helping me wake up in the morning. Thank you for having my back, man. To all the mods in here. We got Bipolar, we got Mira, Kathy, Jess, Sam, all of the mods. They are the glue that hold me together. I lose my mind a lot. And they are so great in just keeping me focused and on task. And yeah, and they help me wake up in the morning. So thank you guys so much. Hi, Kathy. I see you over there. Sophie. Oh, all right. So what do we got today? Today we have Lori's arraignment. Let's talk about what we expect to happen. Right? She's going to go before Judge Dane Watkins. Right? So I'm keeping an eye on his YouTube channel. So I'll be streaming that as soon as it starts. She is supposed to be entering her plea. Now we're all anticipating not guilty. If she pleads guilty, that would be an interesting plot twist. I don't expect that to happen, but it's possible. They'll read the charges and they will schedule. Well, they would schedule the trial and start doing the trial schedule. However, remember, we do have the motion for joinder at play. We haven't had a hearing on that yet. So I'm not sure how far Judge Watkins is going to go. He might just schedule everything and say, well, this is how it will be unless the motion for joinder is heard and agreed to. So who knows? Who knows what we're going to see? But it'll be okay. It'll be fine. There won't be new charges today. That's not what this is for. This is an arraignment for the current charges. So now that it's been shuffled off to district court from the magistrate court, they have to go through this process of formally charging her, and she enters her plea, and we'll see what happens. So Miss Sophia, thank you so much for the super chat. I love that super sticker. That's adorable. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, I do have to cough. I still have this cough. It's terrible. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, so I'll get back to my YouTube. All right, so just as a course of interest, you can't really see. I didn't do a bright, colorful makeup look today, but I do have I don't know where it went, the Natasha Denona chromium eyeshadow. This is the infra nude, so it really doesn't show up too much on camera as far as color wise, but maybe that's why they call it infra nude. But it's there, and just a nude shimmery lip because that's all I could handle in the morning. It's too early for color. But Marilyn used to wear blue eyeshadow. I've never worn a blue eyeshadow, even though I'm a child of the 80s. I was a teenager in the 80s, and blue was all the rage. I never did it. Never did it. So we'll see. Maybe someday I'll get brave and try a beautiful blue look. That would be fun. Oh. This isn't the hearing for Joyner. Nope, Gypsy, this is just the arraignment on Lori's charges, on the Fremont County charges. So she's only being arraigned today on the 2 conspiracy to destroy, conceal, or alter evidence charges. That's all we should hear about today. I don't expect to hear anything else. Sorry, just reading chat. Yeah, I don't mean to space out, but, I did wake up like 40 minutes ago. So sorry. Will they combine cases today? Marilyn, no, they will not. There will be a separate hearing that will be heard, I would assume, by Judge Boyce for a motion for joinder. That would be Rob Wood's motion that he put forth to the court last week, asking for their cases to be joined and combined into one case. But we have to have that hearing. There'll be oral arguments in that first before that's ruled on. So we don't know yet. Karen Boardman, thank you. And Dana, thank you so much for the super chats. Thanks for being you. You're welcome. That's all I can be is me. And I'm glad you appreciate that. And the coffee, yes. Oh, husband, hurry up with that pumpkin spice latte. I need to wake up. Do you think Lori will be dressed in street clothes like Chad? It's possible. She was for one hearing and then wasn't for another. And, she has the right to be present in street clothes because she is still innocent until proven guilty. So she does have the right to appear in street clothes if they provide them for her. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure she has to be there today because she has to enter her plea. So I don't think her lawyer can do that solely on her behalf. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see Lori. Will it be harder for Chad and Lori to turn on each other if joined her? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Remember, they're going to have separate attorneys. Okay, so that makes it a little different. Like we saw several cases. We saw the Rosenbaum case where both defendants shared one attorney. And that was problematic. It was problematic for them. And even the state argued against that, and they took it all the way to the state Supreme Court to try and force them to have separate attorneys. Okay, so it's a problem if they had one attorney covering both cases. But because they'll each have their own attorney, one of them could still turn on the other. Just because their cases are joined, it doesn't mean they have a joint defense. Does that make sense? It means they're going to have one trial, but they're both being charged separately. So they could still turn on the other if that's going to happen. What time does her court appearance start? It starts at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 11 a.m. Central, which is about an hour from now. So we have a long time to chit-chat before it starts because I scheduled it wrong. So sorry. Oh, I'm so used to things being at 9 a.m. for court hearings. I did not anticipate this was going to be at 10, and I wasn't paying attention. So let's see. The Rosenbaum case was disastrous having the same defense attorney. Yes, it was. I think it was very disastrous for Joseph Rosenbaum. I think he probably could have gotten off on something much lighter if he had had his own attorney. So, and that's why the state argued against them sharing an attorney. It's really not usually a good idea. So Means probably has Lori's size now. Well, I don't know. Let's talk about Mark Means. We're going to hear from him today. Mark Means is a bit of a problem. Now, when we first saw him, in one of the first big hearings that we saw him in, he was trying to get a motion for a bond reduction. And the court was hearing his argument, and it was terrible. He droned on for like 3 hours. That hearing was like 3.5 hours. The judge even called a recess in the middle of a motion hearing because he just would not be quiet, And the judge kept having to remind him that you stand up when you address the court. That's proper protocol. Oh yeah. Well, I'd prefer to sit. He was like, dude, it was just terrible. And he droned on and on and on about how Lori should be bonded out of jail or have her bond reduced because the jail was listening to her phone calls. And he made such an enormous deal about this. Now, granted, that is a problem if that's happening. Everyone has a right to discuss their case with their attorney privately without having the jail or anyone else listen to it. That's a thing. All right. But he didn't really seem to have any evidence of this. He really didn't seem to be able to show that it caused a problem, even if it did happen. He just whined for 3 hours. Right. And so I'm thinking, nah, this is not good. This is not good at all. Amanda, thank you for joining the team. Welcome to Reese's Pieces. It's so good to have you with us. Sorry, my cats are rampaging around the house. Apparently, this is a good time to do that. So Mark Means, right off the bat, I was like, I'm not impressed with him at all. And plus, he's not a criminal defense attorney. He's learning that on the fly. So I was like, oof, this is a problem. However, after reading some of his motions, and as horrible as they are with his grammar and spelling, and talking to our friend Lori Hellis, who I'm sure the mods can drop a link to her website. It is the LoriVallowStory.com, where she has a newsletter covering the legal side of this case. She made some very good points about how it seemed like he was doing some pretty smart things with some of his motions. And I said, okay, I'll give him some credit. I'll cut Mark Means some slack. Maybe he's not as dumb as a rock. Maybe there's a little room for hope there. But after last week, nope. 1 sec. What Mark Means did last week, nah. I lost all hope for that. He started having a Twitter and Instagram go at Kay and Larry Woodcock for something totally ridiculous. He totally has the wrong end of the stick. He's pushing it the wrong way. He's just being a jerk. I was so upset by that. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done with Mark Means. So yeah, all of the times I tried to defend him, be like, okay, guys, let's cut him a little slack. He's learning on the fly. He is kind of doing the right things. After I saw that, I was like, oh no. Do not have a go at family members and survivors and victims of these crimes because your client says something crazy. No, I was not impressed at all. So, man, Mark Means. But yes, we will hear from him today. Hopefully, Judge Watkins will keep him in line because I don't want to hear him whine for 3 hours. I don't know about you. I'm too tired. There's not enough pumpkin spice latte in the world for me to sit here and listen to Mark Means for 3 hours. So I'll be like, I'm going to leave the stream going. I'm going to go play a video game. I'll be back when it's done. Somebody messaged me. Oh, goodness. Larissa says, Means drank Lori's Kool-Aid. It does seem like that because as we know from other documents and hearings and things, Lori blames everything on Kay Woodcock. She said that Kay tried to kidnap him. Kay was doing this. Kay stole the money. Kay blah, blah, blah. That's Lori's trick. So for Means to be doing that on Twitter and Instagram, it's like, yeah, you're in Lori Town. You're in Crazy Town right with them. That's terrible. Not happy. Means and Pryor share the same office. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. They don't necessarily share the same office. Here, the way it works over there, and probably in a lot of states, is they rent office space, so they have certain addresses in certain jurisdictions. Okay, there's a legal thing about that, I think, is the way it was explained to me. That doesn't mean they necessarily are sitting in their desks in the same office building working together. All right, they're independent. They just say, oh, okay, I have an office here. Because if you look them up, they both have offices in multiple places. So it's not that they sit next to each other all day at work, but you're sure they know of each other and they probably have talked about the case. And I think they can talk about the case. I don't think they're barred from speaking about the case to each other. I don't know exactly how that works, but Adrian. Uh, Adrian asked if I heard the rumor about Lori and her lawyer getting together. Yeah, I started that rumor. I did purposefully to show Mark Means how rumors can get started and how we don't go flinging poo all over the place just because we feel like it. Hopefully he learned that lesson. I don't think so. I don't think he pays any attention to me, but he should. Donna, thank you for the super chat. She asked, what do you make of Lori comparing herself to Job? Oh, that's a good one. And I actually had to sit down with Jess Nelson. Jess is my sister. She's one of my mods. She's actually an admin behind the scenes here. And I had to ask her because I am not a biblical scholar. I don't claim to be. I'm like, tell me what's going on with Job. What is this connection here? And after we talked about it, I'm like, it's hard to put my feelings into words in a way that won't be entirely offensive to every God-fearing person on the planet. But Lori's crazy. She's absolutely delusional. But it also made me think, oh, something about losing children. Is she sort of almost admitting it by using that as her thing? It's possible. Sorry, looking at chat. Yeah, so I was concerned by her use of the analogy to Job. I think she's it could be a consciousness of guilt thing slipping out, because she's talking about, well, just like the trials that Job faced, or however she put it. I'm like, yeah, Job lost his children. So you're saying your children are dead without maybe realizing that's what she's saying? Who knows? I don't know. But let's talk about that whole, the prisoner. Hold on. I need my blanket. It's very cool. I'm just literally freezing. I got my blanket, my nice Christmas blanket. Fuzzy blankets, fuzzy socks, fuzzy sweatshirt. All right, I should be good. Could use some gloves. Maybe I should turn off the air conditioning. Yeah. All right, so this woman who was in jail with Lori for 4 days comes out with her story to Nate Eaton of East Idaho News, and there's a link to that in somewhere. I don't know. You can find a link to East Idaho News. And she's talking about she was in jail with Lori for 4 days, and Lori said, here's the things that Lori said and did, and her phone calls and all of this stuff. I have some issues with this. I do. Because, first of all, we can't verify anything that she says. The only thing that we verified is that, yes, she was in jail with Lori for those 4 days. That did happen. Okay, that's great. But anything beyond that, we have no idea if that's true, and there's no way to tell if it's true. Okay, it's totally this woman just having her say. So, all right, so we have to take it with a huge, monstrous grain of salt, okay? Rosie, thank you for the super chat. I love the pictures that you put in your super chats. That is so pretty. Thank you, Rosie. Love you. So this woman talking about how Lori, she was on the phone with Colby all the time. She was on the phone with this person and that person, and she read scripture all day, and she likened herself to Job. All right, none of that is really informative about the case. It doesn't tell us anything about the case at all. But it does tell us that Lori is maybe yapping behind bars. All right. She said the weirdest thing that I got from that was that she said Lori told her the children were at a polygamy camp working while Chad and Lori were in Hawaii. Interesting. Now we know, and don't come at me, but it is a fact that many Mormon offshoots practice polygamy. Okay, we've got the Church of the Firstborn, the Mexican side of things, where they went to Mexico specifically so they could practice polygamy. We've got the Warren Jeff stuff. All these offshoots are based in LDS, even though that is not traditional LDS doctrine. Okay, it's not anymore. Cowgirl Up, thank you for becoming a member of Reese's Pieces. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We haven't gotten to chat lately, so I hope you're doing good out there, Cowgirl. So a lot of people just generally in the world know that you think Mormons, you think polygamy. Unfortunately, that is an unfortunate jump that most people make. All right, so apologies to the mainstream Mormons for that, but that's just the way the world works. So people think that. So did this woman get that information about a polygamy camp from Lori? Did Lori say the words polygamy camp? Or is she just making that connection in her head because that's what she thinks of Mormons? That's a very interesting point that I would like to know more about. But then again, I have to remember she could just be making this whole thing up. So, but so that was what I got out of that statement from her cellmate friend. It's kind of crazy. Colby wanted to know where his siblings were, not his mom telling him to research the Bible. That's sad, isn't it? It is, Shannon. It is very, very sad. I feel so bad for Colby. He has not had an easy time his whole life, and his mother is crazy. Chad wanted to practice polygamy. It's quite possible. Yep. Yeah, it is. It's very strange that she said the words polygamy camp, polygamist camp, something like that. Where did that come from? Did that come from this woman and her just suppositions, or did it come from Lori? Why would she say that? So far, we haven't seen anything about polygamy in any of Chad's beliefs that have been uncovered so far. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just mean we haven't seen that. So, very interesting. How come Melanie Pulowski hasn't been arrested? Pam, that's probably a good question. She is under investigation. We know that from the affidavit in the custody hearing, that they are looking at her in regards to the shooting against Brandon, as well as the disappearance of JJ and Tylee. So she's certainly being looked at, and we'll see what comes of that. Cowgirl, you're finally out of COVID jail. Great. That's good news. I'm very glad to hear that. Welcome back to the rest of the world. Traditional Mormon doctrine did practice polygamy. They did, and they stopped. The reason that Mormons no longer practice polygamy as a rule is because back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when Utah wanted to become a state, they were applying for statehood. And the Congress said no, because we're not going to sanction polygamy. Right? Because Utah was predominantly Mormon, and they were predominantly polygamous, thanks to Brigham Young. And the Congress just said, nope, they can't do it. So suddenly, the leaders of the church had a revelation from God telling them that polygamy was wrong and they should stop practicing it so that Utah could gain statehood. That's why Mormons no longer practice polygamy. Okay. It was a political revelation from God. All right. I'm not going to say much about that. We'll let that go. But yeah. Listening to Awa in this case seems less crazy. Thank you, DZ. I'm not sure that's true, but this is one of the craziest cases I've ever seen. Do you think Lori will wear a mask today? I do. Pretty sure she will be appearing with her attorney if Mark Means decided to travel for this. He certainly had plenty of time to get himself there. But she should wear a mask. We are in the middle of a pandemic, so we won't get to see her smirky face, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The sad thing, they would be safer in a camp. Kathy, that is very true. Kathy Sherman says the sad thing is that they would have been safer in a camp. That is very true. And that's what I thought for a long time. For many months during this, I thought, okay, maybe she sent them to a friend in their little cult group's house, or they're in a bunker somewhere or something like that. And they'll come back. She may be hiding them or whatever, but we'll see them again. That didn't happen. I wanted to believe that with my whole heart. So I wish that had happened. I do. Looking at Lori's gray roots. Yeah, we can't talk about gray roots because, I'm having some gray roots issues. Let's not talk about Lori's. Yeah, I have not been to a salon since like January. This is bad times, my friends. Lived in Utah for many years. The Mormon polygamy offshoots practice early Mormonism. Mainstream LDS church does not. Yep, that is very true. Interesting that Chad has not even worn a mask. Yeah. I don't think Chad believes in COVID. Honestly, I have nothing to verify that other than a lot of people who think similarly to Chad, and I'm talking about you, Avow, they don't believe COVID is real. They still are going with the it's a hoax thing. Goodness gracious. How much longer for the start of the arraignment? It starts at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, so that would be 11 a.m. Central. So we got 45 more minutes. Oh, goodness. Oops. Can you turn that off, please? Thank you. That was my husband's cell phone. I love gray hair, don't care. I'm not ready for gray hair yet. I'm not ready to love it. Someday I will. It's not for myself at this point, anyway. Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing? I think Melanie is as dodgy as Lori. I do too. Melanie Pulowski had a very rough childhood. She had some big issues with her mother and her dad. She's since resolved some of the issues with her dad, which is great. But she also grew up idolizing Lori. She wanted to be Lori. She wanted to be like Lori. And she even called some of her own children zombies. So Melanie Pulowski is just as crazy as Lori. She didn't murder her children, thank goodness. Let's hope Brandon gets to keep custody of them. But, bet she's ripping up her court docs to curl her hair with paper rollers, quite possibly. Oh, goodness. Yep, let's I'm just checking over chat. Can we all read the banner going across the bottom of your screen? Please read that. Okay, let's keep chat clean and friendly and family friendly type stuff, because you can hurt my channel. You can actually cause problems for me by swearing in chat, so don't do it. I'm not going to let that happen. I think the woman said she thought the children were at a camp, not that Lori told her that. I'll have to reread it. I got the impression that Lori said they were at a camp. I didn't read it that closely because I'm like, oh goodness. I'm actually a little surprised that Nate ran with that, because it's pure rumor and conjecture. Normally he's a little more of a stickler for facts, so it wasn't interesting. There is a link to it in my community tab. I believe I posted it there if you want to go see Nate's video on that. But I don't know. We can't take it as serious either way, unfortunately. I think Lori's jealous of Tylee, and that's one of the reasons she needs to get rid of Tylee. That's possible. That's something we will never know for sure. When Lori, Tylee, and Melanie G were at the police station whining about her purse at lip gloss, the police were supposed to take her for the mental institution for the eval. Yes, Carol, they were. And when you watch that interview, you see the police officers tell Lori repeatedly, if you leave right now, you can just walk out the door. If you leave before he gets here with the order, you can leave. Hello, lady, come on, let's go. They really try to get her out of there before Charles shows up with the order. That's terrible. That's terrible. They did not believe Charles at all. It's when is the baby due? I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about Melanie Pulowski's baby. We don't even know for sure that she's pregnant yet. It's assumed that she is, but we don't know that for sure. So I certainly can't tell you when the baby's due or if the state's going to remove it, because we have no idea. There may not be a baby. So the officer made you so mad when he was telling her to leave. Yep, Brennan, me too. Me too, because I'm like, are you kidding me? And even Charles is on the phone with them while Lori's in the room, and he's trying to explain, and they're just like, yeah, okay, dude. They do not take him seriously at all. And imagine how that officer must feel, the one who we see on the body cam sitting there right across from Tylee, within arm's reach of Tylee, thinking, gee, maybe if I had taken this seriously, that little girl would still be alive. How does he feel right now? That's got to suck. Nate did fact check his story. I know, Michelle, I didn't say that Nate did not fact check his story. We know that she was actually in jail with Lori, but everything she said cannot be fact checked. Right? So she said, well, Lori said this, and Lori was on the phone with that, and there's no way for us to prove any of that. So it's just, it's salacious, it's unverifiable, it's rumor. So I'm surprised he ran with that. One sec. I do need to cough again. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to cough and had to say hello to the husband who got home. All right, reading chat again. If Lori and Melanie P were such good friends, why did she record their phone calls? I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know if Lori and Melanie P recorded phone calls. I think you might be confusing her with Melanie Gibb. Melanie Gibb recorded a phone call with Lori in which she was trying to get Lori to admit to something, or basically what Melanie Gibb was trying to do was to prove that she was innocent and didn't know about the children. So, let's see. Oops. Chat is going quick. I was just reading something when it swooped up. Do you know if any of the Chandler police were disciplined for gross misconduct? I don't think they were. They maybe should have been. Plus, we also had a very interesting tidbit of news from Annie Cushing. Annie Cushing is Tylee Ryan's aunt and Joseph Ryan's sister. She has a YouTube channel called Annielytics, which I'm sure the mods can link to. She's also very active in the Facebook group True Crime Underground. She's wonderful. I adore Annie Cushing. And during one of her recent live streams, she said that one of the officers who was involved with Charles, with taking Charles's calls, actually had a business relationship with Jason Mao. I found that extraordinarily interesting, and I really would like to dig into that a bit more, find out what this business relationship was, get some verification of that, because if that's true, doesn't that kind of explain why Melanie Gibb dropped Jason Mao's name in that police interview? There was no reason for that. Jason Mao had nothing to do with it, allegedly. So why would she drop his name, other than she knew that he had a business relationship with some police officer in that area? Possibly. So that's something we really, really need to dig into. Kathy Lawrence asked, do I think Melanie Gibb will hurt the case in the long run? Absolutely. I think she is terribly problematic for the state as a witness. She thinks she is the state star witness, according to her. Hello, Orly. Yep, Halo frozen dessert is key. It is, and it's terrible. I've tried the Halo keto ice cream. It's disgusting. Ugh. Did not like. Sorry, Halo. My apologies, but I just really didn't like it. So yeah, Melanie Gibb. Let's talk about her. I love to talk about Melanie Gibb. Whew. You know, this triggers a lot of people, but I do not think of Melanie Gibb as Saint Melanie. Not for a second. I do not like her. I do not like her attitude. I do not like the fact that she is continually manipulating and lying and And I think that Rob Wood putting a lot of faith in her to be able to bring the jury around is a bad plan. It's a very bad plan. I think John Pryor is going to destroy Melanie Gibb on the stand. He is going to impeach her character, her credibility, everything. So the jury is going to have to be like, we don't really believe her. And that will be a very big problem for the state. So I'm concerned about that. Very, very concerned. Yeah, if your star witness is going to be impeached, you've got problems. You might need a new star witness. So I also think, remember that Rob Wood said in one of his recent filings that the conspirators at play here, Chad, Lori, Alex, but it was not limited to Chad, Lori, and Alex. Rob Wood said that there are possibly other conspirators that are going to be named. Who would you name if you were the prosecutor? Would you not look at the people who were in Lori's apartment the night that JJ was killed? I would think those would be top on my list for co-conspirator. That would be Melanie Gibb and David Warwick. So, you know, she's a problem. She is a giant problem. Do you think that Lori will ask for a trial to be moved like Chad did? Sort of. I think Means probably isn't too fussed about a change of venue because he's probably pretty sure the motion for joinder will go through, and it will become one case. John Pryor has already filed the change of venue, which was most likely going to happen. So I think it'll all just work itself out in the end. Heavens, when I got on this channel, I lose you every 20 seconds. I'm not sure why, Chris. Try refreshing or something. I feel Mel G is going to have some charges thrown her way after the trials. There's a lot she should be held accountable for. Miss Lassie, I agree entirely. I would be. We did hear in the preliminary hearing that Melanie Gibb does not currently have an immunity deal or a deal for her testimony. So that's good. That's good. Hopefully, Rob Wood is not drinking the Kool-Aid himself, and he'll be like, you know what? You are just as much a conspirator in this as the other. So there you go. Orly says, no disrespect to Rob Wood. I wish Letitia's prosecutor was trying this case. Yeah. I did come into this thinking Rob Wood was pretty fantastic. I had a lot of faith in him. I thought it was going to be great, but now I'm kind of feeling a little about it, especially given the kid glove handling of Melanie Gibb and the lack of other charges. I expected to see something by now. You know, I do realize that this is a giant case. They're looking at many deaths, not just JJ and Tylee's. But I did expect to see something more by this point. So we haven't. And give me 1 second. My husband's leaving, so I want to say goodbye. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I had to say goodbye to the husband who is off to work. Oh God, I'm just not liking my hair and stuff today. Jeez. Anyway, poor husband. They might have more recordings. I'm sure they have a lot more information than we know. We probably know, 20% of everything law enforcement knows. So we just have to be patient. It's hard to be patient. As you know, this week was the 1-year anniversary of Tylee's death. September 8th of 2019 was the last day that Tylee was ever seen alive at Yellowstone Park. The 9th, and the 10th. Those are the days when Tylee was murdered and buried in Chad's backyard. It's been 1 year. Yesterday, 1 year. That's tough. That's tough because I remember hearing about this in December of 2019 going, oh, I hope we find the kids. And on one hand, it feels like it's been 5 years, but on the other hand, it feels like it's just been a couple weeks, and we're still looking. It's like, nope, they're really gone. It's been a whole year now. I'd like to see some more charges. I really would. So, you don't know how the police didn't arrest Alex after he killed her. I don't either, Stephanie. I don't. He had a criminal record. They certainly didn't verify it was a self-defense thing. They had contradicting stories from him and Lori. That blows my mind that he just walked away from that. Rob Wood could be playing the hold your friends near but hold your enemies closer game. He could be with regard to Melanie. Because Melanie, let's remember, she's very naive. She's very easily led. And he could just be, she said herself during one of her interviews, well, they're being nice to me and blah, blah, blah. Or they said, you're not in any trouble. Or so that law enforcement is playing Melanie Gibb. Like, it's okay. You just tell us what you know. We're on your side. We're going to fix this together. You can really help us. You can help bring justice for the kids. We need you. You're wonderful. Right? And she's like, oh, they love me. They really like me. And then boom. Next thing you know, she's going to be in jail next to Lori because she said she doesn't have an attorney. There's naive, and then there is just dumb. So, yeah, I've been saying this for months now. Melanie Gibb, you need a lawyer, for crying out loud, woman. Oh, crazy. Maybe the cops who came that day for Charles were in on it. I don't know, Adrienne. The big question, certainly in my mind now, is the point that was raised by Annie Cushing, that one of those police officers, either Chandler or Gilbert, I forget which, had a business relationship with Jason Mao. That makes me incredibly suspicious about the whole thing with Charles. So we're going to have to do some digging there. So Melanie Gibb could have been a better human and called the police before she ever opened. Yep, she could have. She could have also not lied to the police when she did talk to them. That would have been a good step. That would have been, given her a little bit more credibility. Melanie B, I'm not sure who Melanie B is, says she did ask Lori about the children. I'm not sure if you mean Pulowski or Gibb. There are two Melanies involved in this. Actually, there's several more Melanies, but only two that we're dealing with. Drama. I'm not sure. We don't know which one of them shot Charles. We're assuming it's Alex. Did they do GSR testing on either of them? Do we know? We don't know for sure. We don't have all the information about Charles's death yet. Did they even test for gunshot residue to see who fired the gun? No idea. Let's see. I heard that Jason Mao was watching from the end of the street when Charles was killed. Yeah, I don't think there's any evidence of that. Sandy, I have heard that too. I think that is a straight up rumor. We have no idea. It's possible. Maybe. I don't know. But I can't sit here and say that because that's just a rumor at this point. Julie Rowe has been kicked out. Yes, Julie Rowe was excommunicated from the Mormon Church. Yes, she was. She's a little crazy. No, Beth, it doesn't start. I had the time wrong. It starts at 10 a.m. So it will be starting in approximately 30 minutes. So it's not running late. I was running way too early. So I will bring it to you as soon as it starts. But let's get caught up on the actual news of the case. Give me one more second to cough again. I apologize for that. Okay, so we had several motions last week in the case. Let me just kind of wake up and get focused instead of just chit-chatting. Last week, we saw the motion to joinder. All right, Rob Wood filed a motion to joinder. He is asking the court to have Lori's case and Chad's case regarding the current charges be held together in one trial. Presumably, the reason that he gave in the memorandum to support the motion was it's going to be kind of the exact same trial twice. Let's just do it once to save the state a bunch of money. This way we don't run into the risk of different pretrial motions having different sorts of judgments and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense to have them together. So that motion is on the table. We have not had a hearing date scheduled for that yet. Hopefully that will be broadcast and we'll hear oral arguments. So I'd like to hear what the defense has to say about that. Pretty sure they're going to argue against it, but we will see. We also had John Pryor file a motion for change of venue. That was not unexpected at all. I'm pretty sure they will get the change of venue because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. But now they have to think about all of these hearings in the bigger scope of things because if Pryor gets his motion changed for venue, but then when the cases are joined, what if Means doesn't want the change of it? All yada yada. But I'm sure that they will come to a round table and get all of this hashed out soon. But today we have Lori's arraignment, where she will be before Judge Watkins, and she will have her charges read to her. She will enter her plea, and they will schedule some pretrial conferences and maybe a trial date, even though that is all subject to change because of the motion for joinder and change of venue. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with all of that. But that's what's on tap for today. Lori was still in the house as the kids were, and then took Charles's rental car, leaving him a sitting duck. Well, drama, we know what they say. We know what Alex said and what Lori said about being in the house. We don't know exactly what happened because they tell different stories. So, a lot of people want to say now, well, Lori shot Charles. We don't have any evidence of that. Sure, it's likely. Sure, it's possible. But we don't have any evidence to support that. So right now, we have to see it as just a rumor. Okay? We don't know who actually shot Charles. All we know is the stories that they gave to the police and the very little information that the police uncovered about that. Nikki, welcome to the team. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I really appreciate it. Yay. I think we'll see the Pitbull and Rob Wood soon. I hope so, Cowgirl. I really hope so. I think we need a little bit more Pitbull in this case. Lori Hellis, hi, good morning. Lori, I've been hoping to talk to you. We had a couple questions in Discord, a really good legal question. Actually, since you're here, and we have some time. Where was that question? Kathy, can you remind me where that question was that we had for Lori Hellis the other day in Discord? I think it was in the Letitia Stout. All right. Here it is. I found it. All right. This is a question for Lori Hellis. The mods will link to her website where you can sign up for her newsletter. I really recommend it. In the Letitia Stout case, we have the defendant who the defense team requested a competency evaluation. They went for the competency evaluation and they came back and said, she's competent to stand trial. The defense said, we're going to get a second opinion. So now there's another delay in the trial because their defendant will go for another evaluation. Now, if the second evaluation comes back the same way, can the defense refuse to introduce this evidence at trial? Can the defense say, yeah, we didn't like the evaluation, so we're just going to drop it? And also in that case, can the state come back and say, hey, they had this evaluation done. They said she was competent. Can the state introduce that even if the defense chooses not to? That's a curious thing, a very interesting thing, because, certainly the defense wants her to appear incompetent, but with her own letter that she wrote to the judge, oh my God, and their own expert saying, nah, she's perfectly competent, that creates a problem for the defense's their desire to have her declared incompetent to stand trial. I don't think they're going to get that at all. Nikki says, love your group, can't wait to see the hearing. I love getting all my Daybell information. I'm glad. I try to keep it very real. There's so much crazy in this case. We don't need to make up any more crazy. We can just go with the facts as we know, and that's too crazy as it is. So the defense had to request a second psych eval. The judge would rule on what evidence can be introduced. Okay. And that comes from Orly. Thank you for answering that, Orly. Let's see. Inappropriate body language being used in reference to women. Oh. Yeah, the mods will find that, and I'm sure they will get rid of it. Andrew, thank you for pointing that out to me. Oh. Sorry, just reading chat. Kathy Lawrence says, everyone in the house the morning that Charles was murdered should have been tested for GSR. I agree. They should have. Were they? I don't think they were. If they have, they didn't tell us, but that doesn't mean they weren't. Just means we don't know. I hope that they were tested. That would tell us a lot. Lori says, since they told the court they were having the second eval for the purpose of the court, they have to release it. Okay. See, that's what I thought. It doesn't become it's not a HIPAA violation because it's already in court, so there you go. What time is the hearing? Begins in about 20 minutes. All right, so we got 20 minutes to chit chat. Let me keep refreshing the judge's page. As soon as it starts, it will be on the screen and we'll listen to the entire hearing. The state could introduce it. Yep, Lori, that's what I thought, because if the defense put it on the record by saying we're having this evaluation, all of a sudden it's on the record, which means it's fair game for the state to bring up if they want to. So that's what I thought. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, the Letitia Stout case is one that we will be covering extensively once it goes to trial. If that ever happens, the way they're going right now, my goodness. Deona Pittman, thank you. Welcome to the team. I'm so glad to have you here. Great. Thank you for joining. It's not privileged information when it's done for the purpose of the court. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Lori. Yeah, that was a very interesting question that one of our Discord users asked, and I was like, that's a good question. I have no idea. So thank you for answering that. We all know Letitia is crazy, but is she sane enough to stand trial? Yes, she is. I think she is. Look at the letter. Sure, she makes spelling mistakes and stuff, but it showed an understanding of the case against her. It showed an understanding of the legal process. right there. If you can understand that, you're competent enough to stand trial. So that letter did her defense no favors. I'm sure her lawyers were very unhappy with her. Oh. Everyone's wondering if Lori's going to have her Jolly Rancher lipstick on today. We don't know. We don't know because she'll probably have to wear a mask because of the pandemic, which, all right, that's fine. But we'll have to see. She should speak at the very least just to answer when the judge asks her, how do you plead? She'll probably say, not guilty, Your Honor. Well, she should say, Your Honor. She'll probably just say, not guilty, because that's Lori. You know, she has no sense of protocol, this woman. All right, so we are not going to hear anything about the motion for joinder today. We're not going to hear anything about the change of venue today, other than possibly Mark Means mentioning it to the judge that this is on the table in front of Judge Boyce. So there may be some scheduling up in the air. But other than that, we should just hear Mark Means, Lori should be there. The judge will read the charges, and she'll enter her plea, and they'll schedule some pretrial stuff. That's pretty much all that's going to happen today. We saw Chad's arraignment. It was very quick, very to the point. Hopefully, Mark Means will just stick to that and not go off on a rant. We'll see. I'm concerned that one of the judges in this case may slap a gag order on it if Mark Means keeps going on with his crazy Twitter crap. So I hope they don't, because then we don't get to hear a lot of information. But anyone else find it crazy that Pros and Dumbbell's hearing didn't ask Mel G at all? I'm sorry, I don't understand that. I'll have to reread that a few times. Moving on. Can't get over how smug Lori was in her first few appearances. Yes, she was. Yep. She was very, very arrogant walking. And even one of the hearings, she kind of struts out of the courtroom like this. And I'm like, really? Jeez. But we can't look at Lori and expect any sort of normal behavior from her. She is not normal. Nobody that can do these things is normal. So we're not going to see normal behavior out of Lori for sure. Does Lori have access to the YouTube videos? I don't think so. I know that she's got a tablet and people are trying to call her on her jail tablet and stuff. It doesn't quite work that way. It really does. You can't just dial in and say, I want to talk to some prisoner or whatever. It doesn't work. You have to be added to a list and approved and all this other stuff. I don't think she has unfettered access to the internet, right? Although then again, watching Love After Lockup, these people can go on their dating websites on the internet. It's like, are you kidding me? Kira, thank you so much for the super chat. Look at that. That is adorable. Thank you, and I'm glad to see you here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that tremendously. So yeah, I don't think Lori can just pop on YouTube and stuff. I think she has very limited places on the internet she can go, limited time. So yeah, I don't think she's watching YouTubes. If she is, hi. That would be something. And there's Amy Gibbs. Hi, it's so good to see you, Amy. How are you doing? I hope everything's doing well. I haven't got to chat with you in a little while. Oh, she did. She strutted right past Kay and Larry on her way out of the court. It was disgusting. Lori Vallow is a disgusting person. Whether she did anything she's charged with or not, she is still a vile human being. And you're not going to get any arguments from me about that. Yeah, Newton, one of the things in the statement that was made by Lori's podmate, the woman who spent 4 days in a pod with Lori, she said that when they were talking about Lori's case, Lori, ran her hand down her body and said, let's see if this is worth $1 million. Yeah, clearly not. Guess who's still sitting in jail? Nice try, Lori. But can I request a list of Lori's lots of phone calls? Probably. I'm not sure if I would even be granted that. I don't think that would fall under freedom of information request because that's generally not public knowledge. So I don't know. I'm not sure I would even care who called her in jail or who she called. Only if they're recorded. I would like to hear all the recordings, but that we can't do. Shame is a narcissist kryptonite, right? I don't think we'll see body language that is in line with regret. Absolutely. Tess, 100%. Access in prison is different than county jails. In some state prisons, they have more access. Okay. Access to the internet, I would assume that means. I want to see where Chad and Lori's GPS signals. Yep. Newton, I think when we got the probable cause affidavit for the charges against Chad and Lori, and we saw how detailed Alex's phone pings were, the logical question was, well, where's Chad and Lori's phone pings? The state has not released that yet for a very good reason, but I cannot wait until we get to see that detailed information. I also want to see where all their phones were on the day when Brandon was shot at, the day that Tammy was shot at. I want to see where Jason Mao was the day that Charles was shot. I want to see all this stuff. I really hope we'll get to see that during trial. Little Lady Di, thank you for the super chat. That is adorable. Look at him. Yep, it does feel like we're having a party. We cannot wait to see Lori in front of the judge. That always makes me happy, seeing her in front of the judge, because it's another step closer to justice for those kids. Yep. Lori Ellis says, I doubt the jail would release that info because it indicates how and when she talks to her lawyers. Yep, that is true. That's a good point. Yeah, remember, you do, if you are in jail awaiting charges or awaiting a trial, you are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. You have the right, it is a very important right that we all have in this country, to have private conversations with your legal team. Okay, and I don't think anyone should not have that right, even Lori. So that's we have to remember that even though we despise Lori completely, and we don't wish her lots of rainbows and unicorns in her life, we do want to respect the judicial process and our system of law. And a lot of people in cases like this tend to jump on the defense attorneys. Oh, they're evil, they're this. How could they defend somebody like that? No, we need criminal defense attorneys. Believe me, if you are ever accused of a crime, you are going to want a criminal defense attorney. You want someone on your side who will protect your rights, who will argue on your behalf, who will help you get out of the quagmire that you find yourself in. They have to also represent people who are guilty. That's how it works, you know. And this is why we have a court of law. This is why we have presumption of innocence, because if we, like all of us, say, oh, Lori's guilty, that's it, she's guilty, she murdered those kids, that's it, throw her away for the rest of her life, or hang her, or whatever. That's not how, that's anarchy, you know, that's mob rule. That's not the way this country works. So I will always say that criminal defense attorneys are very important. And you know what changed my mind about that? This is going to be kind of mind-blowing for some of you. I read the book Trapped with Miss Arias by Kirk Nurmi. Now, whatever you think of Kirk Nurmi, put that aside. When I read this book and I understood why he was representing Jodi Arias and why he did what he did, his motivation behind it, I suddenly got it. I got it. He never said that she wasn't guilty. He never thought she was innocent, but he was protecting her rights, and as much as he could, and so far as he could, and trying to keep her off death row. That was his goal. He was not a proponent of the death penalty, and that was his mission in life, is to, you know, sort of try to get rid of the death penalty. He wanted life in prison without parole for these cases instead of the death penalty. So that was his belief system. And going through that process with him, that was a very good book. It was very, very good. And part 2 is actually out now as well, so I have to read that. But yeah, Kirk Nurmi, of all people, changed how I viewed defense attorneys. So check it out. If you really want to get more into your theories about our justice system, it's really good to understand why we have criminal defense attorneys and how important they are. There are a lot of them I don't like Corinne Mull. Did not like her at all. You know, what is that? There's some weird noises going on. My cats are very strange. But yeah, I did not like Corinne Mull only because she was incredibly antagonistic, very angry. She was yelling. She was condescending. I didn't like her demeanor in the courtroom. I did not like the way she cross-examined a lot of the witnesses, extraordinarily condescending, made me just want to smack her. That's not a winning personality, but she did a good job. I mean, obviously not that good because they are in jail and they will be for a long time, but that was her job, so. But then we have seen some criminal defense attorneys that we thought did an amazing job and we really liked them. I'm not going to name the case because a lot of people get very upset about that, but you got to take it for what it is. You take it for what it is. Everybody deserves a defense. Everybody deserves a good defense and a proper defense. But that's how we secure good convictions. Okay, it's very important that we have fair trials. And because imagine, all right, my concerns about Mark Means, clearly he didn't pay too much attention in English class. But aside from that, is I don't want Lori to go through this trial, get a conviction, and then be able to appeal it and overturn that conviction because her lawyer didn't know what he was doing. I don't want to see that. I would rather her have the best criminal defense attorney she can get, go through a trial where all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and there were no mistakes. So she cannot get an appeal. She cannot get a mistrial. She cannot get it overturned, and it's done. So, there's that to think about. Okay. What do I think of Juan Martinez as a prosecuting attorney? I think he is a jackwagon. I cannot stand Juan Martinez. I think he is a dirty bird. I really do. He is not a good person. And he's been up before the bar many times talking about things he is not a good person for or such. So, yeah, I do not like him. Do not like him at all. Your son and daughter talk to their cat through Alexa. Okay, interesting. I don't believe incompetent defense could be used by Lori. I'm hoping not. He is filing all the right filings, all the right motions, and doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is good. I want to see that. So, not gonna lie, I read that with a British accent. Okay. Interesting. Defense wants Lori's trial changed, yet in her city she is amongst her peers. Yeah, that really depends on what you consider Lori's peers, and that's a big issue in this case. Something that fights break out about quite often here in our YouTube channel. Lori and Lori's friends will come out and say that they are LDS. They are mainstream Mormons. Mainstream Mormon says, oh, they are not mainstream Mormons. Please don't link us with them. So Lori may think she's in the city of her peers, but I don't think she is. I really don't. Juan Martinez did lose his license. Yes, he was disbarred. And that was recent, too. So, yeah, it was recent news. I want her to have a good legal defense, so no mistrial. Yep. Absolutely, Dana. Absolutely. Does anyone know how Means is getting paid? Nikki, we do not know. We do not know. I'm not sure if we can even find out. I don't know if we have the right to know that information. So, you see an excommunication Lori's near future. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not even going to begin to speculate what the Mormon Church is going to do about that, because they do some surprising things, as we have discovered. Hello, Mommy is a Lion. Good morning. You haven't missed anything yet. The hearing starts in about 7 minutes. So it was an hour later than I anticipated. So I've been live for a lot longer than I meant to be. I apologize for that, but so we will be hearing from the judge in about 7 minutes. I will keep refreshing the page. As soon as it's live, it will be on your screen. Am I a lawyer? Teresa, I am absolutely not a lawyer. Nope. My only legal background is that I watch trials all day long. That's it. Whenever I have a legal question, there are several people that I am in communication with that I will ask for verification and clarification. And one thing, if you're interested in the legal aspect of this case, let me get a link for you and put it in chat. Here we go. 1 second. All right. There is a lawyer who is watching the case, who is wonderful and will eventually be writing a book about the case. That right there, you can click on that, and it's going to take you to a website where you can sign up for a free email newsletter. Whenever legal stuff is happening in the case, Lori Hellis, who is the author of that website, sends out a newsletter explaining what's going on legally. Right. And that has been an invaluable resource because this case is crazy. The legal stuff in this case is crazy on top of everything else. So please sign up for that newsletter. You get a ton of great information. She also hangs out here in chat. She is in Discord. So when we've got questions, we know where to go to get a solid answer. So totally, absolutely support Lori Hellis. And I think you all should sign up for her newsletter. So there you go. There's a link to that. So yeah, when I'm talking about legal stuff, I'm trying to use layman common sense legal understanding. When something that I don't get, I will immediately turn to Lori, or we have some people in chat who are paralegals, things like that, who know how to research the questions that we have. So we dig to get you the best information possible. I do make mistakes, but that happens. Where do you watch trials all day? VP, a lot of them are on YouTube. Well, certainly it's been quiet since the pandemic, but generally between this channel and reporting live from my sofa and a bunch of us, we just watch trials all the time. You can watch them on Court TV. YouTube channels will sometimes have them. Scales of Justice is a great YouTube channel that's always having court stuff. So yeah, you can watch trials all over the place. And I love to watch them. I love to see the legal process behind trials. It just makes me, I don't know, feel like I'm learning something or something. But yeah. Oh, Jean Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. You are welcome. And thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to have pumpkin spice lattes for days now. Yeah, as told by Thielen Book Review says, I used to love Court TV. I did too. With this case, though, I am not a fan of Court TV's coverage at all. They have been very clickbaity, very almost misleading in some of their reports. I am really unhappy with Court TV's coverage of this case. So be very careful. Be very careful. Yep, used to. Absolutely. Yep. Yes, Paul is at work today. He did say hi to everyone. He would be on with me right now if he wasn't at work, but he did have to work today. So, pumpkin spice bread. Did you say Cowgirl Up? Let's go to Cowgirl Up's house and have some pumpkin spice bread. That sounds fantastic. Oh, I need that. I need that. All right, I am refreshing the judge's website. Nothing is on there yet. Vinny Politan is still on Court TV and still, yeah. Stephanie, I don't talk about law and crime for a long story that I don't want to get into. Yeah, I am not a fan of law and crime either. Come on, Judge. I want to see that. I'm also going to check East Idaho News. I know Nate will be streaming it too. I do have permission from Nate to stream his stream. If I can't find it from the judge, but I don't think it's live yet. Yep, they are in standby. We are waiting for the judge to go live. So I'm just going to keep refreshing. I can't really see chat because I'm looking in another window so I can bring you the hearing. I know. See, I didn't. This is why I shouldn't have even answered the question. Everybody wants to know why I'm not a fan of law and crime. I'm not going to get into that. It's a personal beef I have with the admin of law and crime. I'm not going there. Nobody needs to know. Sorry, I shouldn't even have brought that up. I am sorry. All right, let's keep watching. This is going to be good. I hope we get to see Lori. I kind of hope she's wearing a mask because if she makes smirky faces and grins, I'm just going to get angry. I'll just get very angry. So, somebody needs another link for the newsletter. Okay, there's a message in chat with a star. That is a link to the LoriVallowStory.com newsletter for the legal side of this case. So, and it is free. Go ahead and follow it. It's excellent and free and a good resource. Oh, just a few minutes. It should be starting any second. Let me look at my clock. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And certainly the Idaho court system seems to be really good with keeping to times and things. They have been like Judge Edens. I miss Judge Edens. Judge Edens, if you're watching, we miss you. We hope you're doing well. Uh, they were always really on time and very good with their streams. So, VP, welcome to the team. It's so good to have you here. Thank you. I'm glad to see you. You've joined as a channel member. Remember, you have custom emojis that you can all use. We have a Mr. Potato Head, Carol Baskin, some donuts, a portal, because who doesn't need a portal? A Welsh Dragon, fall leaves. There you go. There's some of the custom emojis that we have available for our channel members to use in chat. I am quite partial to the Mr. Potato Head myself because it's quite fitting for this case. Come on, Judge. I want to see this. I wish that they would start the stream even before they start the hearing just so we can get it all set up and get ready to go. That would be nice. Hello, C. How are you doing? It's good to see you. I am a little distracted. I just keep refreshing the judge's page so we can bring it to you live as soon as it starts. I don't want to miss a single minute. Do not want to miss a minute of this. Again, it's going to be a quick hearing. It should be, but it is Mark Means. It should be just a 20-minute, hi, here's the judge, here's your charges, how do you plead? Okay, great, we'll see you all in January, kind of a deal. But you never know with Mr. Mark Means. I'm going to check East Idaho News again. I am quite a fan of how the Idaho court system is handling these hearings as far as the live streaming of it. It's been so easy to find. It's been easy to stream. The quality has been good. The sound has been good. I'm quite a fan of that. Of course, the sound is good when John Pryor does not need to speak into a microphone. He has some problems with that, for sure. All right, we'll be starting any second, guys. Any second. It's 11:01. We should have started a minute ago. So we're just waiting now on the court to turn the camera on. I am watching 4 different websites. So the first one that brings it live, I'll bring it to you. Do not worry. You're not going to miss a thing. I promise. This is a big deal. Come on, Judge. Let's go. Come on, Judge. Yeah, I wonder if Mark Means actually drove up to the jail so he could appear with Lori, or if he's going to appear from his office and she'll be by herself at the jail. That'll be interesting to see. He does, I guess he's, 4 to 6 hours away from where she is being housed. So he tends to appear remotely. But we'll see what happens today. I'm watching East Idaho News. I'm watching the judges' YouTube. There's nothing going on yet. I'm afraid to look away because the second that I look away, it's going to start. Hi, Paul. How are you doing? Everyone, please say hi to Paul. Paul's my partner in crime. He would be on with me today, but he is at work. So, Paul, it should be starting any second. Hopefully, you'll be able to catch it and sneak away and watch it while you're working. I don't see anything that it was delayed or whatnot, so we are just waiting for the judge to turn on his thing. All right, Justin Lum says Lori Vallow appears in district court to face 2 charges. All right, that's not actually happening at the moment. He says that was just sort of misspoken. Oh, Mac is 781. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm just refreshing the judges page and then my tweet deck and everything, trying to make sure we do not miss this stream. So my apologies for anything I'm missing in chat. It should have started a minute ago. Come on. Still nothing yet. All right, we'll keep an eye on stuff. If the judge doesn't think Means is up to the job, can he remove him? I'm not sure how that works. That would be a good question for Lori Hellis. If the judge does not believe that Mark Means is up to the job as being a criminal defense attorney of a case of this magnitude, can the judge remove him? I don't know. So watch chat for Lori Hellis's answer for that, because I can't see. But that would be a very interesting question. We did learn that if Mark Means wants to leave the case of his own accord, he still has to ask the judge or ask the court's permission to take himself off the case. So, all right, we still don't have the hearing. Hopefully they're not having technical difficulties. There are other Zoom hearings that are on the judge's YouTube, so he's done it before. Hopefully they will do it fine. There's nothing still on East Idaho News. So we're not missing it. We're just waiting for it to start. KSL TV has it live on... Yep, all the news channels, they're just showing placeholders right now. So the judge has not started. Don't worry. We're not going to miss it. But I can't stop clicking because it's going to start any second. And if I stop clicking and come look at chat, you know that's when it's going to start. Of course. I need 2 monitors. This is why I need 2 monitors. I really do. Patty says she's new here. Who is Paul? Paul is the host of the YouTube channel Reporting Live from My Sofa. Surely the mods will drop a link to his channel in chat. He is a true crime YouTuber. He is a wonderful person. He is a very good friend of mine. We've done a lot of stuff together, and I just adore him to no end. So please go sub to Paul's channel. You'll see him on some live streams with me, even on my channel. He's been on as a guest many times because I just feel better about life when Paul's on live with me. I really do. But he can't be today because he's at work. So, all right, come on, Judge. What is going on? We are now 6 minutes late. This is unheard of for the Idaho courts. Usually very timely. Could be having technical difficulties, or maybe they forgot to just turn it on. But we're not the only ones sitting here refreshing. You can bet your bottom dollar that Nate is doing the same thing. Oh. Yeah, there's several other news channels who will be streaming it, and none of them have it yet. So I'm just watching and watching. Yep. This is boring. Yeah, I can't read chat, so I don't know what's going on over there. I hope you guys are good. I do not want to miss this, so bear with me while I sit here clicking this button over and over and over again. I keep checking Twitter to see if something happened and it got canceled, but nope, everyone says, yeah, it's going to start, it's going to start. And I'm like, well, come on, let's start. Anyway, now I feel like I'm really talking to myself and I don't even see chat. It's kind of a weird feeling. A very weird feeling. Someone just said only Awen and Paul can make me laugh about this horror. Yeah, I hope you understand where we're coming from with that. We don't we're not downplaying the severity of these cases at all, but at the same time, if you don't take a minute to get a little perspective sometimes and laugh about some of the funny things, there are some funny things that happen. Mark Means in his stagecoach robbing bandit mask. That's funny. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm going to share screen. Give me a sec. It's coming. Yeah, I'm excited. Chrome tab. Judge Watkins. Share audio. Share. Give me 1 second to make it full screen there. I'm going to make it full screen here. I'm going to turn up the audio.
We're joining from the Bonneville County Chambers, and I would like a quick introduction. We have Madam Clerk from Fremont County who is joining us. And Madam Clerk, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Terrific. We also have our court reporter
can you all hear it?
Joining us. We have the Bonneville County. Wood, Mr. Wood, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Here we go.
And good morning to you. And joining us from Madison County, we have Ms. Vallow Daybell, along with counsel Mr. Means. Can you hear me okay?
We can, Your Honor. Thank you.
Terrific. This morning is the arraignment, and Ms. Vallow, the court has a prosecuting attorney's information that is before me. Have you seen that document?
Yes.
And do you have any objection to the court proceeding with this arraignment over Zoom today?
No.
In a moment, I'm going to ask you if you have any objection to the court reading or waiving the reading of the information. But first, I want to just advise you of a couple of things. You will have three options this morning, which include the court entering a guilty plea on your behalf. I want you to understand that this morning, as I present this prosecuting attorney's information to you, you have the right to have a trial by a jury. You also have the right to confront witnesses, call your own witnesses, and summon and subpoena them if you desire. And as it relates to making any statements, you have the right to remain silent, and counsel could enter your plea on your behalf if you wish. You've recognized that you have seen that prosecuting attorney's information. This morning, would you like me to read you that prosecuting attorney's information, or do you waive the reading?
Your Honor, if I may, there for a moment you froze when I think you were explaining the three options that she could plea as far as today. And my client does waive the formal reading of the prosecutor's information document.
Okay, well, thank you. I do want to go over with you at a minimum the counts that are alleged and the potential punishment that is associated with each of those counts. In the court looking at this prosecuting attorney's information, in count one, you are conspiracy to commit destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence. It's a felony under Idaho law, punishable up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Count two is the same charge with the same punishment and the same potential fine. As I understand it, having waived the reading of the information, then now is the opportunity, ma'am, to enter a plea of either guilty or not guilty. How would you like to reflect your plea?
Your Honor, on behalf of Mrs. Daybell, she enters a not guilty plea to both charges and a request for a pretrial and a jury trial.
Very well. Then Madam Clerk and I will provide you with a trial. I know that the court and the counsel identified dates. I just want to confirm whether these are agreeable. The jury trial would be set for April the 2nd of 2021 at 10 a.m. with a pretrial conference of March the 22nd. Madam Clerk, is that also at 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. Is that agreeable with the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defense?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to conduct for today's hearing? From the state?
Your Honor.
Mr. Wood?
Not from the state.
Mr. Means, I didn't hear whether you had any other business for today.
No other business, Your Honor.
Okay, then we will look forward to coming together for our pretrial conference. If there's anything by way of pretrial motions that need attention before we'll set the matters for hearing. Thank you all for your appearances.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That is it. That was it. Done. Not even like 10 whole minutes. My goodness. All right. Get my screens back here. All right, that's it. So Lori entered plea of not guilty. Totally expected that. The pretrial conference scheduled for March and the trial for April. My goodness, that's a long time away. Santos, this court is not a joke. The court is doing what the court does. We stand by our justice system, and they're doing what they need to do. Now, remember, all of those dates are technically up in the air. We do have the motion for joinder on the table from Rod Wood, so it's possible that the cases will be combined and everything will be rescheduled. So, but March is a long time away. I was surprised by that. I figured January, like Chad's. So interesting stuff. But that's it. That was super fast. I knew it'd be quick, but I expected a little bit more than that. They did waive the reading of the charges. And in the other hearings that we've seen, even though they waived the right to the reading of the charges, the judge read them anyway. In this case, he was like, yeah, well, whatever. Let's just go. So there. That was a lot of anticipation for 2 minutes of seeing Lori in her silly mask. And not silly. The masks are important. I not mean that. But just seeing her sitting there, just... I don't like that woman. But yeah, that was it. That's all they needed to do, Lindsay. Absolutely. That's all they needed to do today. So we will not hear too much more from Lori. We will get schedules for the motion for change of venue for Chad's case from John Pryor, the motion for joinder from Rob Wood. So those things will be coming up. But technically, there's not much happening till Chad's pretrial conference, which is scheduled for later this fall. So this case might get a little quiet for a while. I will bring you any news that happens, any hearings that are live streamed. I will always bring those to you. So it's going to be a cold winter in jail for them. Yes, it is feeding it. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's all I got. I chatted for like a whole hour before that started. Kind of disappointed it was just 5 minutes because I want the trial today. I'm ready for the trial right now. Let's go. Let's do this. But anyway, so they will stay in custody for the duration of this unless something happens. They miraculously come up with enough surety to secure their bond. That's not likely to happen. Chad and Lori do not have the assets behind them to bond out of jail unless some rich person comes along and offers it to them. But not likely. Not likely. So that's all that's going on. Enjoy the fall weather. Fall is definitely here. It's definitely here in North Texas. I'm going to go find a turtleneck to put on under this because I am still freezing. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten the iced coffee. Maybe I should have gotten a nice hot coffee, but whew. All right, so thank you to the mods for being here. I know chat was really busy. Really appreciate each and every one of you. You guys know I love you to pieces, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the super chats. That really helps me be able to do this. Certainly motivates me to get up out of bed early in the morning when I'd much rather be asleep and bring this to you live and do all the background research and stuff. Please stay tuned, channel members and Patreons. There is stuff coming. I know it's been quiet, but I'm still working through. I have a lot of family issues going on. So that might even make a good Patreon video. There's some crazy stuff. You guys ever dealt with adult protective services? I have a family member in crisis, and I'm trying to get them to step in and help. So if you've ever dealt with them, please let me know. Or if you are a social worker, I might be able to use your help. So please reach out. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the background that I need to deal with. So I'll stay on that. We'll stay on the case. And there you go. Please join us in Discord. The mods have dropped right there. There's a link from Feeding It. We have a Discord server where you can chat about the case around the clock. All the documents that I get, I post there. Any information that we need, this case and a bunch of others that we're following too. Please join us in Discord. It is totally free to use. So thank you. Sugar Butt Williams, yes, you have dealt with APS. Great. If you can reach out, that might be, I need some help dealing with them because I need their help, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with this person's life. And I'm a little nervous about that, but Cowgirl Up, you were great. I will send you an email. Okay. Because I have reached out to them and I have asked them to step in and help with my family member who's in a bad place. So hopefully that was a smart choice. I'm not entirely sure. How do you get permission to message in Discord? Carrie Ann, what you need to do is look in the rules and info section, and there's a post there outlining the rules of the server. Just make sure you add a reaction to it. Click on the star picture underneath it, and that's it. You'll be verified and you'll be able to see all the channels. So anyway, all right, I'm going to get out of here because I need to go drink my coffee and wake up a little bit. But I'll see you all in Discord. Take care. Stay safe out there. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for being here, everyone.